Hey there folks, Eric from Eternal Working Holiday, walking around my home city of Belgrade, Serbia. And I thought I'd make this video reflecting back on my time in Thailand. Because it was quite a time. It was interesting, challenging, at the same time, exotic, and made me realize some things about why I love living here in Serbia so much. I mean, look at this. It's like beautiful, perfect day. I came back at the right time of year. And what is it about this place? It's because I can be myself here, mainly. So Thailand. I went the first time in November. Sort of exploratory trip, went a bunch of different places, to the islands, to Chiang Mai, to Bangkok, to Yangon, Myanmar, to Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, just to see where it's at. And I sort of decided that Chiang Mai was where it's at. So after New Year's, after getting off the booze for January, first week of January, I'm sitting there sober at home on the weekend, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this winter? Can I go back to Thailand? Eric, is that allowed? Eric, do we have enough money to sort of do this? Do we have, the opportunity to step away from whatever by 6-hour time difference? Yeah, we do. So I booked myself a ticket so I could go and spend 26 days in Chiang Mai. Actually, it was 21 days in Chiang Mai after a little bit of Bangkok in there. So I went there. And the culture that dazzled me at first, this Thai culture, the first trip, it was like, wow, Southeast Asia, this is so cool. What a great environment. I did realize things like that I didn't like the Western European and American people that were there as much as I like the Western European and North American people and other foreigners that are here in Belgrade. Because Belgrade attracts a special type of foreigner. I realized that the first time. So I went back and I went to sort of explore this, digital nomad lifestyle. Stayed in the neighborhood Niman where they're all based, and, had experiences like sitting next to digital nomad mentor in some sort of recruitment chat in a coffee shop and hearing him and his, sort of like mentor-y, sort of like, I can help you change your life sort of chat. Anyways, that was all well and good. And also Thailand, the culture there. I started to dig a little deeper into the culture. And I realized that, it was very nice as a culture to be a tourist in. Once you start to get inside their heads a little more and figure out what they're thinking when they're smiling at you and all that stuff, it's utterly frightening to me, because I realize that I'm the sort of person who values, most of all, truth and sincerity. And indeed, one of the biggest reasons why the other two countries I've lived in, apart from Serbia a longer time, England and Canada, don't appeal to me as a place to settle down or continue living, is because in England and Canada, sincerity is not valued as much as something that they call politeness. And that politeness is basically, you're raised to be polite, which means you're fucking lying to people your whole life. In England and Canada, of the English-speaking countries, I would say that United States is the one that most appreciates directness, sincerity, truth, straight up sort of communication. But in England and Canada, it's really like people are bullshitting all the time because they don't want to reveal what's on their mind and they want you to think good of them. So in Thailand, I had this feeling like this thing that I hated in England and Canada, this insincerity, politeness, saving face and all this stuff, was really the core of the culture, was that. Like an experience like walking into a pharmacy and wanting to buy some sort of, remedy, medicine, whatever. You ask them for it in English, and people understand a lot of English there. They don't speak incredibly coherently. So you ask them for that in English. And instead of trying to figure out what you're talking about, they will pretend that they know what you're talking about and that they don't have it. Instead of trying to figure out what it is you're asking for and whether they have it, whether they have an alternative, they just want you to fuck off, and they want you to think that they are knowledgeable, whatever. I don't know. That sort of thing, and always smiling, and like well, it's a nice country as a tourist, because it's a nice country as like to visit, because it's all smiles, everything's super convenient and set up for tourism, and it's a really good country for that stuff. But it's, for a place to live, it didn't really appeal to me. After a couple weeks, it started grinding on me. It started making me sort of like feel a little lost inside. Also, the types of foreigners that go and live there. It seems like a place where you're sick of your stressful, high pressure life in a civilized country where you're driven to succeed, told that you have to be someone, get an education, make money, buy a house, get married, and you go to Thailand because it's a place where you can very much not give a shit. It's a place where you can sort of settle down and, live off of almost nothing. Nobody's going to bother you. And you sort of live this exotica life where you appreciate all this, Southeast Asian food, culture, and everything's really convenient, and you don't really, what I mean by exotica is you don't really step outside of your culture. You make the Southeast Asian culture come to you, which is something, I don't know, I consider myself culturally sensitive, so that's something that I could never do. And basically, what I sort of took away from the whole thing is that it's a great place for a holiday, but not a great place to set down roots. Because here in Serbia, for me, if you're like me, and you like truth and sincerity and living from your heart and broadcasting your feelings to the world like I do as an artist, then basically this is an awesome place, this Belgrade, because when I was living in Canada, I constantly offended people for speaking my mind in a way that they found inappropriate. In Serbia, I've never had somebody be offended by me speaking my mind. They might have been offended by what I said, but they were never offended by the way that I say it. So this is a place, if you like telling the truth, you can really stand to tell a lot of truth here. And you can really, especially as a foreigner, have your opinions and have people listen to them, as you're watching my videos right now. The Anglo-Saxon culture has this little thing of insincerity being a cultural value under the guise of politeness and considering other people's feelings and not offending them, where you'll say like, oh, I've got to wake up early tomorrow, when you actually don't. If someone's offering to take you out for a beer and you don't want to go, rather than saying, I'm going to do my own thing tonight, I feel more like doing that, you'll say, I have to get up early tomorrow as an excuse and stuff like that. And if I had to settle in an Anglo-Saxon country again, I would probably go to the United States, because that's the place where you can actually be direct and people, appreciate that. England, Canada, a little bit of Australia. It seems like people are walking on eggshells all the time, worried way too much about what other people think of them. So that's what I remember from Thailand, and that's what I love about Serbia. This place is, you can just tell it like it is, and people tell you things like it is, and it's a world of, there's a Serbian style of bullshit too, that people bullshit and, for example, make plans that they don't intend on keeping, and say, but here you can tell the truth, and you can find lots of other people who will tell the truth. So Belgrade Beat on the street. No, this isn't Belgrade Beat, this is Eternal Working Holiday. If you like this cultural analysis and explanation of why I live in Serbia, one of the reasons, that's actually one of the main reasons I live in Serbia, apart from the beautiful women and the cheap cost of living. But if you like this, subscribe. So thanks a lot. And yeah, I'll continue to make these videos about the lifestyle and what I like about the remote working lifestyle and all of that. Anyways, gotta go. 10 minutes. Bye.